What happens when you're riding along and this little booger up front here, the front derailleur, decides to fail and it becomes like this whipping in the wind and you can't control any shifting up front? Do you just screw the two little screws in to make it a single speed? Well, yeah, on the way to home, but how do you fix this? Or how do you replace that? This is this week's 10-minute tech tips after this. Welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles.
Welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles, hanging out with the guy. Hi, I'm Justin the Guy, obviously of a garage shop, taking scary how to use bikes one bike at a time.
If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Welcome back to I Know a Guy Bicycles, hanging with the guy. Yeah, we're gonna take this little booger off right here, and we need to do that. We need to release the cable, release the clamp bolt on the other side, and also release the chain so you can unwrap it underneath. So first what we're going to do is release the cable. This is usually just your Allen that brings that loose. Then release the chain. This one uses a power link or quick link. If you have one that doesn't have that, you can use just a chain tool to open it up. And you keep track of your little power links, so don't lose those guys. Pull your chain through, like so. So on the back side, we're going to loosen this Allen wrench here. Like so. Get that bolt out. And in this case, I need to release my bottle cage. So we just take another Allen wrench. And you don't have to take it off all the way, just enough to get that clamp to slide underneath. In some cases, you do have to take it all the way. Oh, in this case, I guess we do need to take it all the way. Like so, and then go find your bolt. Okay, so what we got as a fail point on this one, actually hasn't failed yet. I'm just using this as an example, but I've had several of the Tiagras fail, and you can kind of see how there's just no life to them, like so. And this one I caught before it failed, and this is the one I'm working on currently, and it hasn't failed yet. So we're going to take a look here exactly where that fail point is. The fail point is right here, and you'll see little stress cracks starting to develop all the way around. That tab breaks off where it needs to be a little more beefed up, like this one here. This is a Tiagra or 105 front derailleur, but the Tiagras seem to have a good fail point on multiple ones. So that lies the issue right here to the fail. And this one will fail because you can kind of just definitely see the stress cracks developing on this guy here. So what we're going to do is order another derailleur and install it. But before then, I'm waiting for that to come in. I'm just going to show you how to reinstall this one and also adjust the cables. Pardon the interruption, there is more. More, you say? Push the more button. Push it. Push it. I dare you to push it. Once you push that button, you get more details about the video you are watching, in addition to all the tools that I use in the shop, as well as suggestion for improving your ride. In addition to help me provide advocacy in the cycling community, also links to other social media accounts as well as my website to find the products I actually sell and other insights in the industry. Other videos linked below. Extend your cycling experience here on YouTube. And now back to your original programming. So once you have your new derailleur unpacked and ready to go, you want to go through, and one thing you want to note is the size to replace it. And this one's stamped 31/8. That's the actual clamp diameter here. Some derailleurs will have multiple ones. That means they have shims. So you put this guy back on like so. Put your bolt on around the back. This one's kind of a tricky bit to see. And you want to have it snug so you can adjust the derailleur back and forth and up and down. And from there, you want to adjust the derailleur hanger to be 2 millimeters above these teeth and also vertical this direction here. So I'm looking straight down and I'm looking across, and actually when it comes out you want to make sure you get that 2 millimeter coverage there. So that looks pretty good. Once that's down, you tighten up your bolt on the back side so it's anchored. Then you put your cable through. This one lays through the top of the little slotted piece here, and you tighten that guy down. And that's where this cable puller tool comes in handy. You can put that in place, loosen it, tighten it down so you get a little more tension on that cable. Then you proceed to install the chain back through. Put it on small cog to small cog so you're not fighting the tension of the rear derailleur. And you put your plate back in. This one just slides in, but if it doesn't slide in, you'll need to use your tool to make it snap into place. 9 speeds seem to be a little more fluid. Once that's in position, then you adjust your derailleur to the big cog in the back. And as you're shifting, you go up one to go in the middle chain ring. Then you'll have trim. Go up and then you have trim. And you want it to be able to go down and drop, not too far. That's where you adjust the limit screw here, the low. So you just have like a little bit of space between the chain and the derailleur. And you proceed to go back up and go down. So you go back in the middle chain ring again, drop this chain down to the small cog in the back. Then you shift it to the big chain ring, and you want to adjust the high limit so it stops to a point where it doesn't throw the chain over. And you check it a couple times, and then you check your cross chain, big and big, and see if it drops down. Then when it's in the small, see if it drops down there, and you should have trim up there. And if that trim still does not rub, that means the cable is still just a little loose. And then by doing that, you put your tool or get some good grip on it, loosen this back up and do like about a millimeter or two more pull on the cable. And then check it for your trim. So that's not rubbing on the small. It'll rub on the big. You're going to check the trim on the bottom. Then after that, you go up to the top. Then you go down to the small cog again. Check the trim in the middle. This one has 2 trims in the middle and the small. And make sure it jumps up. That has a little bit of hesitation. So I do a quarter turns at a time out to ramp up. Then check it a couple times, back and forth for good measure, making sure it all works how it's supposed to. Then once your derailleur is adjusted, then you trim your cable and put the cable in, and you're good to go. Hopefully that takes out a little bit of the scary out of used. And if you have a derailleur that fails like so, like again, I want to point out that the break point is this guy right here. Used to be a tab on this right there, and that's where that spring used to hold its place, and it's no longer. And I've had 2 or 3 of these Tiagra models, and they are FD-4403 and FD-4503, where they seem to have that weak point. On this one here, you can definitely see it, as well as the one that's installed, but I'll be replacing that later. Just want to show you how to do it until I get it in. There's like hairline cracks through here. So it's really hard to see because it's on the back side. It's only on the Tiagra ones I've noticed they have this issue, but if you have a derailleur that had that break, it's usually the spring. Also, this bolt, as a side note, sometimes backs out. This one's really easy to fix because it's just an Allen wrench to tighten that back up. So you just basically make sure that number 3 fits in there, and you just tighten it back in place and lube all these points. If it's been used and it's been cleaned, those are the points to lube, so you have the best efficient functioning front derailleur possible. Hopefully that helps. Adjusting the front derailleur to replace and inspect. Have a great ride from the garage. Until next time.